Good morning. Today we're going to be talking to Joe Rogan. No, today we're talking to Joe Ruzzi. We've known Joe for over 20 years, well over 20 years now.
Yes.
In the real estate business. Phenomenal realtor, associate broker, managing broker of our Virginia Beach office. Not much of a fisherman. I've been with him on that. But no, we've known him a long time, and he's been with us for going on 6 years or more now with the company. And Joe, what would you say brought you back, other than us pleading and begging? What would you say brought you back to GreenTree Realty or back to us?
I think there was a level of comfort that I felt around you guys. There was a kind of get it done attitude when you came through. Kim is a mighty strong driving force, I think, and pushes us, and I like that. And she's relentless, relentless. I wasn't even sure. I mean, I was looking for a place to land after the last endeavor, but I wasn't even sure where I was going. And Kim's like, "We already got the lease signed on the next place. Here we go. Let's get it going." So I was like, "Oh, I guess I'm in." So, but it's been fantastic. It really has. It's good. The growth that we've had here in the past year or 5 years has been fantastic. It's an easy transition. There's not a lot of drama. And there's a level of comfort, again, that I go back to that I feel comfortable with you guys. It's the extra level of care that you get from a broker, owner, husband and wife team that is passed along to the agents. That feels good.
Well, I was hoping you'd say it was my "Where's Joe" poster, or "Where's Waldo," where I put your little face on it. I thought that's what brought you, but I guess it could be Kim.
Actually, Joe and I worked together for 5 years.
Yeah, at the real estate exchange.
Yeah, long time ago. And I was brand new in the business at that time.
Yeah.
Joe was a seasoned agent. I looked up to him. He had all this business going. And you were doing new construction.
Yeah, I had left GSH Real Estate, and I think it was Vince who put me in touch with the brokers there. And we had gotten into new construction, and I teamed up with a builder, and we had done quite a few successful neighborhoods. We built in Sherwood Lakes. We were in Eagles Nest. We were spot building out in Pungo and in Chesapeake at the time. So it was an exciting time. After that, we hopped over to H.H. Hunt, and we were building Culpeper Landing, which was nice. That was a completely different aspect of building that I guess I had to learn, because the previous builder was more custom home. And you could do things inside of his house and sit and talk to the builder and kind of create something that you wanted. And, you could have that. H.H. Hunt's was more of a machine and a production build. So what you got was what they had, and you had to figure out, how you were going to pay for it. So, but nice.
And I'll tell you straight up, for anybody to ask, what possessed us to make Joe a managing broker in Virginia Beach, what made us bring him in as a driving force in the company, you just heard it. His versatility, his background. He's a seasoned agent, but he's also an extremely versatile agent. He knows all aspects of real estate, from really some property management to new construction, building phases, investments, flipping, and then just traditional sales, and purchases. He's just very well rounded, and is a big part of the company.
I know you do a number of projects every year on investment properties and renovations. How's that coming along?
So it's been pretty good. It's been pretty good. For a while, I think in the past year or two, the market was kind of very tight. There weren't a lot out there that were home runs per se. And, if we're going to do it, you got to find something that, the pinch has got to be, or the squeeze has got to be worth the juice. Is that the saying? So, but we finally found one that we were interested this year, and we're excited. And It's coming along really good. We're moving a lot faster. The subs have been absolutely fantastic. I've got a team of guys underneath me. My main contractor has been wonderful to work with. So if you have a good team, a supporting cast underneath you, it's really it makes the job a lot easier. If you can hold people accountable and they say they're going to do things and they do it, you kind of have to trust them to know their level of expertise in that field. I am not an electrician, I can tell you that, but I hire a good one. So, but it's going well. It is going really well. We hope to have we're kind of maybe 4 or 5 this year. We're not huge. I don't need to do like 20 or 30, but we got the LLC lined up. We got the financing lined up. We have the insurance is taken care of. And now I have the subs. So we're on track to hopefully have a pretty solid year this year and next year. So
Great.
Well, I think having quality versus quantity is so important, and it shows in your final product when you put that house on the market, because I've seen a lot of junk out there as well.
Yeah. I agree with you. Like I said, I don't want to do 10 or 20. I mean, I think that's a different setup. You got to have an organization behind you. That's not what I want. So.
Well, I know even with the investment properties, that market has changed tremendously throughout the years, just like in listings and sales. You really have to be knowledgeable in what you're looking at and know what the market's going to bring, when you get that house done. So there's a lot of homework that has to be done before you really invest in a property like that.
Absolutely. You have to know the market area well, too.
Yeah.
You have to have very accurate CMAs, and then you have to explain that to your lender and get him on the same page with you and be like, this is why we're doing this. This is what we think we can get for the property. So yeah, it's you're leveraging debt. It's a high risk kind of situation. Everybody thinks they can get into it, and I've seen a lot of them for sale where somebody started with the best intentions, and then they're listed with just the demo done, and they try to get it out because they couldn't finish it. So. It's going well right now. Knock on wood. So.
And that leads me to a discussion we've previously had, not with you, Joe, but as practicing brokers, okay, we're all managerial role. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of companies that, I'm not going to say forbid, but discourage their managers from participating in real estate. We have a unique perspective on that. When your boots are on the ground, you're out there, you are doing it, you are practicing real estate, you are learning the current trends, you're flexing with the market. I ask anybody out there, who would you rather have managing? Somebody who tries to keep up with the trends by reports and meetings, or somebody who's out there doing it? In your case, you're doing it, and I think that makes you the broker you are.
Well, I appreciate that. I think you're 100% right. So we recruited Colin, and Colin came in, and Colin was brand new to the industry, took all of his tests, did everything with flying colors. And Colin was fresh out of college and high intellect when it comes to online marketing and advertising, but needed help as far as the actual paperwork and kind of how we do this. So he teamed up with me on 2 listings that we had. And he, with me, held the open houses, showed, I had him running back and forth. I had him emailing the other agents. I had him talking for me. We were all kind of like over his shoulder, kind of figuring out what was the right, how to go about saying those things and getting the point across and making sure he had his timelines set up. And we spent a lot of time together. But I honestly, I did. I mean, I like selling. I like talking to people. I like trying to help people find homes, and I've gotten to a point in my career where helping other agents get to where they want to be and teaching them the path to get there is rewarding as well. So.
That's the premise of this company is helping others, helping the agents, helping the clients, and that in itself will bring focus back on you.
So. Again, to your point, I don't think there's another office that I've worked at where, I could call a bullpen of brokers inside this office and say, hey, have you ever seen this before? This came up. Can you help me out with this? God knows I've asked Nadine a couple times. I got more than I was anticipating, but I've asked her, and she's been fantastic, or even Matt. And the level of experience you have in the office here is by far better than anywhere I've been. So I've been at a couple of places now.
I have to say we've certainly tried to create an environment where people are free to ask others for help.
Yeah.
And it shows with everybody, pitching in and answering questions and are available. But on another note, you make a great trainer, a mentor, because you are hands-on with new agents. And I think for me, that's how I've always learned best was hands-on, not go read a piece of paper. And I think that goes above and beyond what a managing broker does for their agents.
Yeah.
And I don't think you see that in other companies, not from what I've known and what I've heard from other agents.
I've been in other offices, and a lot of times everybody's pinned up against each other. There may be teams and partnerships within that company, but that as far as that friendship goes, nobody's kind of giving away their book of things. I've never bought into that. Everybody does their business, and if you come across a house that you're in competition with another one in the agent in the office, you just don't talk about it. And what are the chances of that really kind of happening? So we were all new once.
Yep.
And I think it's important to train the people that are in your company the way you want them to be trained at a level that is high. Because how many times would you come across an agent who just put the paperwork in, put the information there, didn't know anything about the property, didn't know anything about the inner workings of loans, and that, you get halfway through and, oh, really? You guys, your condo association isn't FHA or VA approved? Really? Okay, great. Let's see how that works out. Okay. So it's, I think it's important that, you bring people up correctly. So yeah, I appreciate that too.
All right, Joe, I'm going to take you down memory road.
Uh-oh.
And as long as I've known you, I've never asked this question. And I would like to know, you were heavy into sports. You went into college playing sports, football particularly, but others. And see, I know a little bit about you.
There you go.
And based on your path, you could have gone in any direction.
Yeah.
And I just wonder what drove you to real estate and where you are today.
Okay. I'm not sure that's the story you're going to be looking for, but okay. So in my senior year of college, we had an unfortunate accident. My brother passed away. He was in a car accident while he was in Ferrum College. And at that particular time, I was in hotel and restaurant management. I got a minor in business. And I actually did have a job lined up at a hotel down in Fort Lauderdale, which I think is every college graduate, well, at least it was my dream to be on the beach somewhere down in Florida, enjoying my life. But at that time, my family needed healing. So I came home and I worked in the family business, which was a restaurant business at that time. And I did that for, let's see, seven or 8 years. And there comes a point where, working with your dad's tough, family's tough, and I just decided I'd had enough, and I got into real estate. I've always liked construction, so I saw new construction kind of coming up in Virginia Beach. I had met a woman, I think her name was Valerie. She was the recruiter for GSH, and I had met her out at a party, and she said, "Why don't you try this?" And she kind of sat down, and gosh, God bless her. I think I kept her like 2 hours in the interview at GSH at the corporate office on the Lynn Parkway. And I asked every possible question I thought I could think of, and she sat with me. And I think by the end, she was like, "So I got to go make my kids dinner. So can we wrap this up?" And I was like, "Yeah, absolutely." So she kicked me out of there, and I came back, and she placed me in that office. I passed the test, and I had another good broker, Len Liddell, there, who kind of brought us up and kind of showed me like what a corporate office looks like. So I knew what that machine really did. And GSH was really a good company. They had the college that they sent you to. They kind of, every broker within that firm had a section that they taught you about the contract and agency law and writing the contracts and paragraph 13, and which was fantastic. It really was for a guy who didn't know anything. So from there, it grew. And I realized, I think a couple of years later down the road, Town Bank made an offer to purchase GSH, and God bless them for selling it because, good on the Farabees. But I knew I didn't want to be there. I didn't want to be at a bank-owned business. So that's how we got at where we met at the Real Estate Exchange. Yeah.
It sounds like you had a great mentor and a great company that you started out with, which makes a huge difference in this profession because they taught you longevity in real estate, how to conduct it. And that's what we try to do here as a company. You now have turned into a great mentor as well. What are your goals for our Virginia Beach office?
One is to get it open.
Yep.
We finally have come to terms with the lease. So we are in the final stages there. We've met with a contractor. We've met with an architect. So we have a floor plan, and we're kind of working on pricing on getting that built. So we're in good shape there. I would like to see that office grow. I think we have several agents now, but I'd like to see that office grow to about 15 or 20 agents, probably in the next 2 to 3 years, and kind of make that a hub. And I would like to see the people in that office do well. I see us holding training seminars there in the conference room. I see us having maybe a title company kind of working with us. So there's a bunch of things that I do see, but it's going to be hard work. But I think the core group of people around us in that office are good people. And I think when we get people in the door now having that office, this is great. Look at them. They're doing well. I think we're solid enough people where that if you came and talked to us, you would feel comfortable working inside us. Because, again, I take this from you guys. We are very, very light on trauma, and it kind of carries over. So, if we can handle the big things, the small things become very small, which has always been something that I kind of live by. So.
And our Virginia Beach location is over in the Red Mill area.
It is in the Red Mill area. It is up off Upton Road. It's going to be in the center of the shopping center. There is I think there's a Wild Wings at the end. I love chicken wings, so you might see me in there quite a bit. So, but yeah, it's in there. 2,000, about roughly, give or take a little bit, about 2,000 square feet. There'll be 4 offices, conference room. We'll have little free-floating cubbyhole desks that people can come and go and work at, and it'll be pretty fantastic. We're excited about it. So.
We're excited about it as well.
Yeah.
And you mentioned the hard work, and I know you know this, but when you love what you're doing and you're doing it for the right reasons, other people. Hard work's not that hard.
No.
It's worth it. You feel that accomplishment at the end based on the smiles coming from across the room. Yeah. And we see that, every meeting we have just reassures us that we're doing the right things. And I know you are doing the same. So, yeah, it'll be hard, but it'll be worth every step of it. And you'll look back and think, it really wasn't that hard.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe hard work wasn't the right word, but I think you have to put the hours in.
Absolutely.
So I think, so we're excited. And again, I think we have a great team. You, Bob, Kim, Sherilyn is going to be there, and I think we all have a nice cohesive working ability together, and I think it'll be fantastic.
Well, I think with the number of years between you and Sherilyn, y'all have got a lot of real estate knowledge that you are going to be able to pass on to agents that are working out of that office that you bring on board.
Yeah, sometimes I know the answer to things and she knows the answer to things, but we call each other up and we're like, "What do you think about this?" And then you speak on it, and sometimes it's what you want to hear and sometimes it's not. But in the end, I think it's valued advice from somebody that, you respect. And I think that's important. Cause,
And in this industry, you have to humble yourself, because you need to be able to pick up the phone and call somebody and ask that question. Just say, hey, I need your opinion, just a second opinion. Am I on the right train of thought here? And you're right, sometimes it's not what you want to hear, but it gives another perspective to what's going on in the situation that gives you some more insight.
I think everybody has their own way of interpreting things in real estate. And
Yes.
I think that there is no one right way, but I think you have to be careful enough to be aware of all the ways. Like doctors, there'd be 5 doctors reviewing a surgery before they go in. I think it's a good idea. I do, if you have a question about it, talk to somebody that, has an outside point of view, and they may bring up something else that you didn't realize. I have been doing this a long time. No one real estate transaction is ever the same. It's just not. It's just not. So you have to, you got to figure, what the situation is or what the problem is and kind of figure out how you're going to get around it. So.
And at the end of the day, making the right decisions for the best interests of our clients. That's what it's all about.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
All right. We kind of took you down memory lane for a minute. Got you to where you are. Where's Joe in 5 years?
Where's Joe in 5 years? Joe's on a beach, drinking out of little glasses with small little, but not just kidding.
I hope not. We need you, man.
Where's Joe in 5 years? I think Joe in 5 years is pretty much maybe taking more of a leadership role, more of a management role. I may be switching gears maybe a little bit, maybe not as selling as much, and maybe managing and training and recruiting. That's my hope. I think the transition in Virginia Beach for me should be one that's pretty good. Like I said, I've been around enough brokers who have showed me how to kind of fill an office. So I think we can do that fairly quickly, getting the right agents that we want. So I see myself in that role. I see myself in a supporting role for both you guys, if that arises. So yeah, I see myself maybe having to wear more of what Bob wears every day, which is a suit and shirt and jacket. And
says the guy with the jacket. And I don't have one. And I see that, and I'm glad you see that. That's kind of why I asked. It's reassurance that we're all in the right role.
Yeah,
and that you're where you need to be, and in my opinion, your thought process of the future is in tune with what Kim and I believe as well.
I'm excited about that. I really am excited about it. The day we sat down and had lunch, I don't know if we're going to talk about that or not, but I was like totally blindsided. But it, only good things. Yeah. Only good things could happen.
And those things take flight by themselves.
Yeah.
That necessarily wasn't, and we won't get much into the meeting,
right.
but it really wasn't planned.
Right.
It was, we do this a lot, but we just kind of let the moment take us where we needed to go.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly where it went. And I think it did establish more of that future for our relationship. Mm-hmm. And I walked out of there as happy as I could possibly be, and more so than I thought I would be coming out of the meeting.
Yeah.
Just a phenomenal lunch and meeting.
Yeah, it was a great day.
And I think overall we have a great working relationship, friendship, business relationship all around. And Bob and I couldn't be happier to have you with us.
Well, I think I appreciate that. I couldn't be more happy to be with you guys. I, on a side note, am very happy to be with you. There's levels to Kim that I keep learning about. And you see Kim, and she's a wholesome, sweet, loving person. And then I've seen Kim where, she's got to get work done, got to get the business done. And I was like, I am 100% supportive of that, and I can follow that all day. So when it's time to kind of roll up your sleeves and get the work done, lead by example, which I think is something that we all do. Well,
I definitely relate to what you say. We just celebrated our 40th wedding anniversary, and I'm still learning every day.
It's tap dancing around that one, yeah. So,
You know
Yeah.
when to tiptoe and you know when to approach.
Yeah. So
I'm not that difficult.
no, that
Not
was
at
not what I
all,
meant at
yeah.
all. That was not. I was fairly impressed. Again, when it comes to business and it comes to work, the way you conduct yourself and the way you hold yourself, the way that you kind of care about each one of the people when they come in here and you ask them how their day is and you honestly care about it and you kind of listen to their problems. I need to take a page out of that book because a lot of times you come in and you're like, hey, good morning. No. That was just arbitrary good morning. I don't want to hear anything else. But I think it's important that you get involved and, I think that's, and you see it. And I think because of that, it creates the environment in here and that's important. And I think I need to follow that a little bit more.
Wrapping up, and I'm certainly not going to take the last part, but I do want to thank you for your time today. Again, I want to let you know, happy is one word. We're thrilled to have you not only as part of GreenTree Realty, but in the role that you are. I don't think we could have placed anybody any better, and I really don't believe for a second that we placed you there.
Yeah.
You came into this position. You've grown in this position over your career, and we're fortunate to have you.
I think a lot of it was right time, right place. Maybe
Yeah,
you guys were looking to grow, and I had just come out of the situation where you were at, so it just worked out really well. I'm ecstatic to be here. Like you, if I may have to pass in order for me to leave because I'm not going anywhere for a long time. I feel comfortable here. I feel like I'm with my peers. I enjoy working here. I enjoy being around you guys, and I've learned a lot as a human being from you guys. Plus, the Christmas parties are fantastic. So we're excited.
We
So,
always
yeah.
try to give back to our agents, and
Yeah.
that's
Definitely.
the time of year we usually do it.
Yeah. And again, that speaks to you. It's not just the Christmas parties; it's just the way you do businesses. I've been in companies that are just so aggressively after your dollars, aggressively after your commission dollars, aggressively after you to sell something for them so that company can make money. And it's just this push down your throat of how they want you to do their business. And that's not even close to the vibe here. That's not. It's let me help you grow yourself so you can make as much money as you possibly can and get to the next level of real estate that you want to be in. And that to me was very important. So.
Well, we are proud to have you here. We're proud for you to be in the role that you're in with GreenTree Realty, and we look for big things down the road, and they are going to happen.
Yeah,
Great.
very excited
Fantastic.
about our
Yeah.
future together.
I am too. Okay.
All right. Again, thanks. And I think we'll wrap it up from here.
All righty. Well, it was great talking with you guys. My name is Joe Ruzzi. If you'd like to contact me, you can reach me at my Facebook page, which is my name, Joe Ruzzi, or you can contact me on my cell phone, 757-816-8376.